process started 2 years ago when Midway came to us and asked us to do Spyhunter. Of course, we were thrilled to do it because it was such a big title and had such a good following from way back when. So at the time, for us and our company, it was the hit game. It was the game to be on.
And the greatest strength of the Spyhunter team was they had incredible creativity and a real passion for innovating, coming up with new gameplay mechanics and new ideas. Just having the creativity alone is a huge challenge in this business, but to have it and then to be able to harness it.
The normal way a track was designed, that would normally start with our concept artist or designer laying out the track on paper. Pencil and paper is where it all started. That design was then discussed amongst team members to try to find out if it was really going to solve the problems that we wanted to solve with that level. And every level has a different mission. It goes from the artist into a software program, and then it gets basically handled by the engineers on the team who are responsible to get the artwork up on the screen and running fast.
Based on the original, we knew the car was a big thing, so it had to be hot. And we spent 2 months designing this car, and we went through, I don't know how many designs, probably 100, based on, what made a car sexy. And the base structure runs on this strut and this line here, which the cockpit goes in and out because it has to turn into a motorcycle, which what happens is the center section's blown out and these side panels are dumped off except for this part here, which is the core, and you shed your skin, which was pretty important. The fact that this thing had to turn into a boat, a motorcycle, and a jet ski and a car was a pretty big design challenge. It's a G6155 Interceptor.
The car handles realistically, like video game realistically, and given that you have to shoot, you're driving and shooting, I think we dialed the physics of the car in right on where you can power slide.
We've worked on games again in the past, and everybody constantly works on the car to the end of the game. This thing was finished and no one said a thing about it. I mean, everybody loved the car, and it's like we almost had to bring the game up to the car's level.
Having some stealth-type missions and having objective-based missions, yet all the while having all these bad guys in the level that you have to shoot. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on.
And upon playing it and seeing the reaction from the team, it just needed to be a little bit more. So that's when we made it objective-based. And that was a huge turning point in the game because that's kind of when we brought in the whole story element.
Objective complete.
The biggest thing was having these things in there and creating this objective type of gameplay. So the player has something to shoot for, a goal to pick up along the way. Before then, it's like everything's on paper, everything's concept art, everything's tests and formulas and prototyping. And once you get to that point where you see this living thing in front of you that you've created, and all the pieces are working together, everything's jiving and shifting and shooting right.
And working with the original concept of Spyhunter and throwing into it the new features that the old game didn't have was a huge challenge for us. And I think we're very proud of what we produced, and I think it's going to be a very successful product.
The bottom line is it's a lot of work. It's far more work than you could ever conceive or you could ever imagine. It's unlike, let's say, you make a vacuum cleaner, and perhaps next year you're going to shoot the plastic mold of the vacuum cleaner in red as opposed to blue, or you're going to have a few more amps of the motor in that vacuum cleaner, or it's going to suck a little better, or whatever you want to call it, right? Well, in the video game business, you reinvent yourself, you redefine yourself every 18 months, because that's about what it takes to do a video game. And it's very much being in the entertainment business, and you can never really rest.
Objective complete.
It's not all fun and games, but there are parts of it when you get to the end that really are fun and games, where you spend all of your time tuning and tweaking, and all you do all day long is you play the game over and over and over and try and make it great. And when that process isn't tedious, when it's a fun process, then you have a great game.
The whole process started 2 years ago.
complete.